The following matchup is presented and played with Hockey Blast Express, a product of Play Games LLC, copyright 2023, all rights reserved. And welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for yet another time frame matchup in this 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge project. Today's opponent is none other than the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. As you guys can tell, the adjustments have been made as the 2011-12 Winnipeg Jets are rated a C+, and they are going to be highlighted by so many players like Blake Wheeler, Dustin Byfuglien, who you will see in a few short time I should say in a little bit, if we do end up having both players in 5 swap. And of course, Brian Little and Zach Bogosian, Andrew Ladd, of course, so many other good Winnipeg Jets players from 2011-12. And without further ado, enough of me rambling. Let's get right into the time frame, shall we? So same thing, if you were tuning in just for the first time, welcome. If you like what you have seen so far on my channel, a subscription to my channel is optional, but not necessary. If you don't like the content that I have on my channel, I understand. You can move on to something else. But if you like what you see here on my channel, a like is very much appreciated, as well as a subscription to the channel, and also turning on that notifications bell so that way you don't miss out on anything that I have in the near future to come up on my channel. With that being said, let's get right into game 1 of this time frame, shall we? So what this is, we have a fresh 60 minutes out on the clock. We are going to play as many games as possible within that 1 hour time frame, and whichever team wins the most amount of games will win the time frame. Simple as that. So with that being said, let's get game 1 underway. Your starting netminders are going to be Ondrej Pavelec. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Again, and he will be opposed at the other end of the ice by Michel Larocque. Pavelec is going to be having a 2 or a 3 with a dot on the play save because of the adjustments with Winnipeg as the visiting team. With that being said, let's get right into game 1 to see who will take the all-important 1-0 time frame advantage in this time frame matchup. Will the clock operator please start the clock? And we're going to begin with a quality check between anybody on the ice for Montreal, and we're looking at player 4 for Winnipeg. That's Zach Bogosian. The quality we're looking for is speed. Ooh, pick your poison between Gainey, Breesboro, or Nairop. At this point, I think you really want to get a guy with almost every quality off the ice. So closest to be doing that is between Nairop or Gainey. Dot, it's Nairop. And it will be Nairop. So Nairop and Bogosian both have the quality of speed. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Another quality check. This time it'll be between players 3 for Winnipeg and anybody on the ice for the Habs. The quality we're looking for is hit. The only 3 guys out there with hit are Breesboro, Nairop, and Bouchard. Brian Little does not have hits. So therefore, it's going to be down between Breesboro, Nairop, and Bouchard winning the battle for a hit. I do want to keep at least that triangle and that square out there. So Bouchard is the odd man out. So he's going to win the battle with the hit against Brian Little as Bouchard moves in on Ondrej Pavelec to hopefully net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He can't, and the Habs will score the game's first goal. And whoops, I forgot to swap the score counters here. There we go. So Montreal is up 1-0 in this ball game here, courtesy of Pierre Bouchard. And it looks like 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Reesboro, and how about it, Naira? The guys that we have mentioned before. So they will assist Pierre Bouchard with the ice-breaking goal presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. We stay put in the segment with a home scoring chance of a 61. Excuse me. It reads any visitor player with a circle prevents a power play goal. Ooh, no, we don't have a circle out there for the Winnipeg Jets. So therefore, it is a 2-0 lead for the Habs. Let's see who scored the goal. 4, third best shot rating. So the the best is gonna go to a tie between Wilson, Mahavlich, and Lapointe. The second best is going to go to Roberts, and the third best, oh my goodness, John Van Boxmeer will score the goal for the Habs, unassisted, and it will be considered to be a power play goal. 2 down, 4 to go in this segment. Quality check between players 3 and anybody on the ice for the Habs, or for the Jets, I should say. The quality we're looking for is hit. Oh, nobody has hit out there on the Jets. And the only guy with hit on and it's against player 3. I'm sorry, I thought it was everybody on the ice. Sorry. Pete Mahavlich does not have hit either. So we could either go across from him or we can have the red die decide. Dot will go right across. And we'll have the red die decide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be a reroll. Player number 4, that's Johnny Oduya. So both Mahavlich and Oduya both do not have hit. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Home scoring chance of a 52. Visitor defense player in 3, that's Alexander Burmistrov. He stops a Montreal goal opportunity with a quality roll of speed or a square. Although Burmistrov does not have a square, he does have speed well enough to stop the Montreal goal attempt to get it to make it past him towards Andrei Pavlich, and we will move on to the next segment. Another home scoring chance. This time it'll be a 21. Visitor goalie must make shot save. So Pavlich's shot save stays the same at 1 or a 2 with a dot. It won't make the save. The puck is past him and into the back of the net. It's 3-0 Montreal. And let's see who scored the goal. 11. That is going to be the second best shot rating. Let's see here. The best is going to go to Lemaire. And we have a tie between Wilson and Lapointe. Dot, it's Wilson. And it will be Wilson. So Maury Wilson will score the goal with 1 assist coming out on the play. It's either Lapointe or Lemaire. I do want to keep at least 1 quality of each. So Guy Lapointe is going to be out of it. So we'll give the assist to Jacques Lemaire with Maury Wilson scoring the 3-0 goal, and right away the Jets are down 3-0 in this one. Home scoring chance, and I do believe that with a 65, that is choice home player scores a goal. So again, we'll roll the red die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a reroll. 4, that's Guy Lapointe. So Guy Lapointe will score the goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Reesboro and how about Lambert? We'll say that. Guy Lapointe from Reesboro and Lambert are your goal scoring stat line to make the game be 4-0 in favor of the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. 2 down and 4 to go. Quality check between players 1 and 2. That's Bob Gainey and Blake Wheeler. The quality we're looking for is speed. Both Gainey and Wheeler have speed, and that is going to be it for this segment. And we will move on to the second period, but not before The Montreal Canadiens post 4 goals on Andre Pavlich during this first 20 minutes of Game One. Penalty check to begin the second period. It'll be between players 4 and 5. That's Nyrop and Enstrom. It looks like both Nyrop and Enstrom both have the same penalty rating of 0.5. And the ref says play on. But if I catch either of you doing anything stupid, you will go to the sin bin. Home scoring chance of a 56. Any visitor player with a square stops a home goal. No. Unfortunately, we don't have a square out there. Enstrom would have had it because of the dot posted on screen. So therefore, the game goes to a 5-0 lead for Montreal. Let's see who scored the goal. 6. Player with the best shot rating. So the best out there is going to go to a 3-way tie between Wilson, Mahovlich, and Lapointe. Dot, or excuse me, not Dot. Sorry. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Guy Lapointe will score the goal. And 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Mahovlich and Wilson. And we will move on to the next segment, or excuse me, to the next portion of this segment. Penalty check between players 4 and 2. That's Nyrop and Antropov. It looks like both had the same penalty rating of 0.5. And again, the referee is telling them if I see you doing anything stupid, you're going to the sin bin. Visitor scoring chance of a 62. It reads, any home player with a circle prevents a power play goal. Yes, Guy Lapointe has a circle printed on his card, so therefore he will stop the Winnipeg power play goal attempt, and we will move on to the next segment. Quality check between players, anybody on the ice for the Habs against player number 2. That's Kyle Wellwood. The quality we're looking for is smart. Pick your poison between Lambert, Roberts, Lemaire, or Bouchard. Who to pick? I think Nyrop just came up, so I'm. Oh yeah, that's right. Nyrop does not have smart, so it's either. Let's have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, or 6 is a reroll. Player number 4, reroll. Player number 3, that's Jacques Lemaire. So both Lemaire and Wellwood have smart, and that is going to be it for the second period here in game number 1, but not before. The Habs will take a 5-0 lead, I should say, into the third period. Home scoring chance of a 31. It reads choice visitor player roll. Home. 31. Choice home player rolls for rebound goal using shot stars +2. Pick your poison between Lambert or Riesborough to take this. I think I'll have the red die decide. Dot, it's excuse me, not the red die, but the decider die. Dot, it will be Lambert. And it will be Riesborough. So Riesborough needs to net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to score the goal. He won't, and Andre Pavlich will make the stop to keep his team well within reach for a comeback in this one. We got ourselves another quality check. This time it'll be between players 1 and 3. That's Lambert and Jim Slater. The quality we're looking for is speed. Both Lambert and Slater have speed, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 61. Any visitor player with any home player I should say with a square, stops a visitor goal. Yes, Gainey, Roberts, or Nyrop. Excuse me. I think we're going to swap Roberts here. So Roberts will stop the Winnipeg goal attempt, and we will move on to the next segment. We got ourselves a quality check between players 1 and 2. That's Gainey and Wheeler. The quality we're looking for is hit. It looks like Gainey's going to win this one as he does have hits. So he's going to be moving in on Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 1-2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and it's 6-0 Habs, courtesy of Bob Gainey. 2 assists to be handed out on the play, and it looks like we're going to give one of them to Mahavlich and the second one to Mario Tremblay. So Gainey will score the goal from Pete Mahavlich and Mario Tremblay for the 6-0 tally here in this segment, and we will move on to the next portion with a visitor scoring chance of a 65. Visitor defense stop, breakaway chance. Home goalie must make spec save. Winnipeg is not going to take this one sitting down. A 1, 2, or 3 will stop it. It will stop the clock. Oh man, the Winnipeg Jets get shut out by a lot, I should say here. I don't think this was a really good Winnipeg Jets team from 2011, 2012, but it is what it is. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to game 1 of this time frame matchup between the Habs and the Jets. If you are tuning into this game on the single time frame single game playlist, I should say, don't go anywhere because coming up later today will be, or excuse me, I should say coming up in a matter of moments after this video airs, this portion of after game 1 of this time frame airs, game 2 will be up very shortly on my channel. But if you're watching this in sometime in the near future, game 1 of this time frame matchup will already be up. But if you're watching this game on the full time frame playlist, do not go anywhere because game 2 is coming up next, right after we take a look at the game summary for game 1, presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you do choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a bitty price. It's Bitty Beer. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in. The final score here for game 1, the Habs take a 1-0 time frame advantage, winning it over the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets by a final score of 6-0. And welcome back, everybody, as we get set for game 2 of this time frame matchup between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. As you guys can see by the time frame score, the Canadiens currently lead this time frame matchup, winning last game by a final of 6-0. And they have now taken a 1-0 time frame advantage in this time frame matchup. With that being said, let's get right into game 2. Your starting netminders for this game is going to be Ken Dryden in net for the Habs, and Andre Pavlich will stay in net for the Jets. Without further ado, let's get right into game 2. Will the clock operator please start the clock? We're going to begin with a home scoring chance of a 15. It reads, visitor goalie must make shot save. So a 2 or a 3 with a dot will make the stop for Ken Dryden. It won't, and the Jets get on the board. It's 1-0. Let's see who scored the goal. 12. All right, so we're going to roll a die with 6 as a reroll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 will be a reroll. Player number 5, that's Dustin Byfuglien scoring the goal. and it will be two assists handed out, two assists will be handed out on the play. I do want to keep at least the triangle and that circle out there. So it's going to go to Antropov and Andrew Ladd are going to be your assist takers in this one. And we will stay put in this segment with a quality check. A quality check, I should say, between players 3 and 4. That's Brian Little and Bill Nyrop. The quality we're looking for is speed. It looks like both have speed, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Another home scoring chance. This time it'll be a 23. Visitor goalie must make spec save. Ken Dryden is not known for this, so one or two will do so. It won't. In the Jets will take a 2-0 lead. Let's see who scored the goal. All right, another choice. Roll the die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is a reroll. Number 1, that's Evander Kane who will score the goal for the Jets. 2 assists will be handed out in the play. Wellwood and Bogosian will be your assist takers on this. Or excuse me, it'll be Enstrom and Wellwood for the Evander Kane goal. And it's 2-0 Jets. And right away, I see this as a little payback from last game. Quality check between players 5 and anybody on the ice for the Habs. That's Dustin Bufflin. The quality we're looking for is smart. So pick your poison between anybody on the ice. How about we'll go right across from them with Bouchard, as both guys have smart, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. We got ourselves a quality check. This time it'll be between players 2 and 4, Blake Wheeler and Guy Lapointe. The quality we're looking for is skill. Both Wheeler and Lapointe have skill, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check. This time it'll be between both players in 3. That's Jacques Lemaire and Alexander Burmistrov. The quality we're looking for is power. Neither Lemaire or Burmistrov has power, and that's going to do it for the first period here in Winnipeg, as the Jets take a 2-0 lead after the first 20 minutes of Game 2. Quality check as we get set for a battle between players 2 and 5 for hit. Antropov and John Van Boxmeer. The quality again we're looking for is hit. Neither Antropov or Van Boxmeer will seal up the deal on this one, as both do not have hit, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check between anybody on the ice for the Jets against player number 3. That's Doug Riesborough. The quality we're looking for is smart. 2 guys have smart because Riesborough is not going to win this one. So it's either Wellwood or Enstrom. It's Wellwood. And it will be Enstrom taking it. So Enstrom will win the battle for smart over Doug Riesborough. And as he moves in on Ken Dryden to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. And he does so to keep this game right where it's at, of a score of 2-0. And we will move on to the next segment. Oh, and 555. So this is going to be a fight plus a momentum shot. It looks like, do we have takers? No, unfortunately we don't. So what that means, if one or both teams had no player with a fight rating, in this case Montreal, does not have a player out there with a fight rating. So therefore, no fight happens. It's a no action result, and we will move on to the next segment. We got ourselves a visitor scoring chance of a 41. Visitor player in 4, that's Bill Nyrop. He creates a goal for his team with a quality roll of speed or a triangle. Although Bill Nyrop does not have a triangle, he does have speed, and that is well enough to move on in to Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 3 or a 4 with a dot to make the stop. It won't, and the Habs are on the board. It's 2-1, courtesy of Bill Nyrop. Still in the Jets' favor with 2 assists coming out on the play. Lafleur and Mahavlich will assist Bill Nyrop on the 2-1 tally, but it's still in the Jets' favor. As we move on to the next portion of this segment with a home scoring chance of a 64. Home defense stop breakaway chance. Breakaway chance. Visitor goalie must make spec save. So 1 or 2 will do so for Ken Dryden. And it will, so nobody flips, and we'll move on to the next period. After 40 minutes to play, your score is Winnipeg 2 and Montreal 1. We got ourselves a quality check to begin this third period between players 4 and 1. That's Zach Bogosian and Maury Wilson. The quality we're looking for is star. Neither Bogosian or Wilson have star, and we will move on to the next we'll move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check between anybody on the ice for the Jets against player number 1. That's Yvonne Lambert. The quality we're looking for is power. So between 4 guys besides Wellwood, it's either Glass, Slater, Oduya, or Bufflin. Oduya just flipped, just came up, so we'll leave him alone. So it's down between either Glass, Slater, or Bufflin. We'll have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, that's Tanner Glass. So he will win the battle with Yvonne Lambert for power, as both, it'll be a tie as both have power, I should say. I'm getting ahead of myself. So with that being said, we will move on to the next segment with a quality check between players 2 and 5. That's Wellwood and Bouchard. The quality we're looking for is speed. Kyle Wellwood does have speed, so he's going to be moving in on Ken Dryden to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. A 6 with a blank won't do it. It is a 3-1 game, courtesy of the Jets. And Kyle Wellwood will be the lucky player to get the goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Bufflin and how about Ladd? So Bufflin will get the first assist, Ladd will get the secondary assist, as Kyle Wellwood will score the goal for his team. We'll stay put in this segment with another home scoring chance. This time it'll be between players 2 and 6. Oh, Bouchard I think he needs to flip. It is going to be between, it's a home scoring chance. Sorry. A 26 choice home player rolls for a goal using shot stars +2. I have got to give that to Evander Kane. A 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 will do so. It will do so, and it's a 4-1 lead for the Jets, courtesy of Evander Kane. 1 assist will be handed out on the play. Blake Wheeler will assist Evander Kane on the goal. And we will move on to the next segment, move on to the next portion, I should say, and right here in this segment. Quality check between players 5 and 1. The quality we're looking for is smart. 5, 1, that's Enstrom and Gainey. Both players have smart, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. penalty check between players 5 and 3. That's Bufflin and Lemaire. It looks like Dustin Bufflin will go to the box as Jacques Lemaire will move in on Andre Pavlich, as he will need to make a 3 or a 4 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and it's 4-2, courtesy of Jacques Lemaire, courtesy of a power play goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Lapointe and Roberts. We'll say those guys will assist Jacques Lemaire on the power play goal. And all of a sudden, this has become a ball game, folks. No lead is safe here in this one. Not a home scoring chance. Sorry, a visitor scoring chance of a 56. Any home player with a square stops a visitor goal. We have a contender here, Johnny Oduya. Let's see if he has that square. Dot, he does. And he does so. Stop the clock. Oh man. Johnny Oduya does have that square well enough to stop the Montreal goal attempt effort here in this one. And I did realize I didn't make a mistake in this game. I read Ken Dryden's thing wrong for maybe the first 2 goals of this game. Instead, they should have been saves. So we're just going to leave it as is. And I hopefully will fix it for next time when the Habs are indeed the visiting team. Still to come in this time frame matchup. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to Game 2 of this time frame matchup between the Jets and the Habs, as the Jets tied the time frame matchup up at 1 game apiece, winning it 4-2 over the Habs. Here in game number 2. If you like what you saw, a like is very much appreciated. A comment is optional, but please stay on topic and no derogatory language. If you are tuning into this game on the single game playlist for this project, stay tuned for game 3 to be popping up very shortly after this game premieres. And if you're watching this game on the full time frame playlist, do not go anywhere, because game 3 will be coming up very shortly after we take a look at the game 2 game summary presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a bitty price. It's Bitty Beer. Thank you so much for tuning in to game 2 of this time frame matchup. Your final score as we head to game 3. The Jets tie up this time frame at 1 game apiece, winning it over the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens by a final score of 4-2. And welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for game 3 of this time frame matchup between the 76-77 Habs and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. As you guys can tell by this time frame matchup, both teams have won a game. The Habs won game 1 by a final of 6-0. The Jets won last game by a final of 4-2. Anything can happen in this project, but we will see what happens here in game 3. Your starting netminders for this game is going to be Chris Mason for the Jets, and Ken Dryden will be back in net tending the goal for the Habs. And without much further to say, let's get ready to game 3. Will the clock operator please start the clock? And we're going to begin with a quality check between players 2 and anybody on the ice for the Jets. The quality we're looking for is hit. Ooh, pick your poison between anyone. Glass, Thorburn, Slater, Bogosian, or Bufflin. Let's have the red die decide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a reroll. 5. That is Dustin Bufflin. So it looks like Tremblay and Bufflin both have hit, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Home scoring chance of an 11. Visitor goalie must make play save, so Chris Mason needs to roll a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Habs will take a 1-0 lead courtesy of the player with the best shot rating. That's Guy Lafleur. So Guy Lafleur will net the first goal of the game, and 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Riesborough and between Wilson, Nyrop, or Van Boxmeer. So Riesborough is going to get the primary assist. I'm thinking either Wilson or Van Boxmeer because I want to keep that square out there. Dot, it's Wilson. Excuse me, and it will be Wilson. So Guy Lafleur will score the goal from Doug Riesborough and Maury Wilson. We stay put in this segment with a visitor scoring chance of a 66, and it looks like a choice home player will score a goal to make it 2-0 Montreal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be a reroll. 2, that is Jimmy Roberts, who's going to score the goal to make it 2-0 Habs. And again, 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Mahavlich, and this time we'll go with Naira. So Roberts from Mahavlich and Naira will be your 2-0 goal scoring stat line, presented by your favorite Bitty Bear products. 2 down, 4 to go in this segment. Quality check between players 1 and 3. That's Lambert and Jim Slater. The quality we're looking for is hit. It looks like Jim Slater is going to win this one as he does have hit. So he's going to be moving in on Ken Dryden to hopefully net a 1, a 4, or a 5 with a dot to make the stop. A 4 will do so, and that will do it for this segment, but not before the Habs break out to a 2-0 lead here in this one. Quality check between players 2 and 1. That's Tremblay and Glass. The quality we're looking for is hit. Both Tremblay and Glass have hit. So therefore, we will move on to the next segment. Home scoring chance of a 12. Visitor goalie must make play save. A 2 or a 3 with a dot. And we'll do it for Mason. It will. Nobody flips, and that's going to do it for the first period here in Montreal. The score after 20 minutes of play, the Habs lead it 2-0. We begin the second period with a quality check between players 3 and 1. That's Lemaire and Ladd. The quality we're looking for is speed. Both Lemaire and Ladd have speed, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 34, and it reads visitor player in 1, that's Evander Kane. He creates a goal for his team with a quality roll of star or a triangle. He does have star, and he does have a triangle well enough to move in on Ken Dryden to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game right where it's at, up 2-0 in favor of Montreal. Quality check between players 1 and 3. That's Gainey and I believe it's going to be Little. So Gainey versus Little, the quality we're looking for is hit. Bob Gainey is going to win this one as he does have hits. So therefore, Gainey is going to move in on Chris Mason to hopefully net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so. Chris Mason keeps his team in this ball game as we move on to the next segment here in this one. Down 2-0. Not home scoring chance, sorry. A quality check, I should say, between players 3 and 2. That's Doug Riesborough and Chris Thorburn. The quality we're looking for is power. Both Riesborough and Thorburn have power, and that's going to do it for this segment, and we will move on to the third period with the same score of Montreal 2, Winnipeg nothing. Home scoring chance to begin the third period with a 21. It reads visitor goalie must make shot save. So 1, 2, 3, or 4 for Mason will do it. It will, nobody flips, and we will move on to the next segment. Visitor scoring chance of a 36. It reads visitor player in 3. That's Tim Stapleton. He creates a goal opportunity with a quality roll of star or a triangle. No star, no triangle is printed out on Tim Stapleton's card, and that is going to be a no action result. And we will move on to the next segment. Not home scoring chance. Sorry, a quality check, I should say, between players 3 and 1. That's Mahovlich and Glass. The quality we're looking for is smart. Pete Mahovlich does have smart, as he will move in on Chris Mason to hopefully net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He can't, and Mahovlich will score the Habs' third goal of the game with 2 assists coming on the play. It'll be Lafleur and Lapointe assisting Mahovlich on the 3-0 tally for the Montreal Canadiens. We stay put in this segment with a visitor scoring chance of a 34. Visitor player in 1, that's Andrew Ladd. He creates a goal for his team with a quality roll of hit or a triangle. Although he does not have hit, he does have a triangle well enough to move in on Ken Dryden to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so, and that is going to be it for that segment, and we will move on to the next one. Quality check between players 3 and 4. That is Lemaire and Bogosian. The quality we're looking for is skill. Jacques Lemaire will win that one as he does have skill. So he's going to be moving in on Chris Mason to hopefully net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Habs will score their 4th goal of the game, courtesy of Jacques Lemaire. And 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Nyroth and Roberts will assist Jacques Lemaire on the 4-0 tally for the Habs. And it looks like the Habs are going to well be on their way to winning this one, folks, as they take a 2-1 time frame advantage. We got ourselves a quality check. This time it's going to be between 3 and 2. That's Reesboro, as I need for Bogosian. It'll be between Reesboro and Wellwood. The quality we're looking for is hit. Reesboro has hit as he will move in on Chris Mason to hopefully net a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He does so, and that's going to be it. Stop the clock. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning into Game 3 of this time frame matchup as the Habs take it 4-0 over the Jets, and take a time frame advantage of 2 games to 1. If you are tuning into this game on the single game playlist for this project, stay tuned later today, right after this video goes live, or actually whenever whenever Game 3 is done premiering, Game 4 will be up very, very shortly. But if you're tuning into this game on the full time frame playlist, do not go anywhere because Game 4 will be coming up right after we take a look at the Biddy Bear game summary presented by your favorite Biddy Bear products. If you do choose to drink Biddy Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a Biddy price. It's Biddy Beer. Thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, the final score here for Game 3, the Montreal Canadiens post yet another shutout behind Ken Dryden as they take a 2-1 time frame advantage, winning Game 3 by a final of 4-0. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for Game 4 this time frame matchup between the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. As you guys can tell by the time frame score, the Habs are leading this time frame matchup by winning 2 games to 1. The Habs posted yet another shutout. This time it was from Ken Dryden. This time it was a 4-0 shutout. And the Jets have yet to score a goal on the road, but they have scored at home. But let's see if that home goal scoring streak will continue in this time frame, in Game 4 of this time frame matchup. Hopefully, I will make sure to get the adjustments correctly this time around, as I noticed in Game 2 of this time frame matchup, I used the actual play save star from Ken Dryden and not the adjusted play save star, which was supposed to be a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the play save. Hopefully, I will correct myself this time around. And without further ado, let's get ready to Game 4, shall we? Your starting netminders are going to be Chris Mason for the Jets, and opposing him at the other end of the ice is Michel Larocque for the Habs. Without further delay, let's get right into Game 4. Will the clock operator please start the clock? Oh, and we're going to begin with triple threes. This is going to be a critical face-off, and it looks like, we have a tie between Slater and Riesborough. Yes. So in this case, if there's a tie for the best face-off rating, the home team automatically wins. So Jim Slater will win the critical face-off battle against Doug Riesborough. So he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. A 6 with a blank won't do so, as the Jets will score. I should say 1-0 Jets, not 1-0 Montreal. As the Winnipeg Jets, there we go, jump out to a 1-0 lead, and let's see who assisted Mr. Slater on the 1-0 goal. We got two assists coming on the play. How about Enstrom and Wellwood assisting Jim Slater on the ice-breaking goal here for Game 4 of this time frame matchup. And the Winnipeg Jets keep scoring here at home in this time frame matchup. We stay put in this 5-minute segment with a penalty check between both players in 2. It looks like it's Wheeler and Tremblay. Looks like Mario Tremblay is going to go to the box, as Blake Wheeler will skate on into Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game at 1-0. And we will move on to the next segment. Quality check between players 4 and 3. That is Oduya, and that is going to be Riesborough. So it looks like the quality we're looking for is star. Neither player has star between Oduya and Riesborough, so that will be it for that segment. And we will move on to the next one. Quality check between both players in 3. That is going to be Little against Mahavlich. The quality we're looking for is hit. Neither Little or Mahavlich has hit. And that's going to do it for that segment. And we will move on to the next one. Quality check, again, this time it'll be between players 5 and 4. That's Bufflin and Lapointe. The quality we're looking for is power. Both Bufflin and Lapointe have power, and that is going to be it for this first period here in Winnipeg. Your score after 20 minutes of play is Winnipeg 1, Montreal nothing. Quality check to begin the second period between players 3 and 4. That's Stapleton and Nyrop. The quality we're looking for is speed. Both Stapleton and Nyrop both have speed. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Visitor scoring chance of a 65. Visitor defense stop breakaway chance. Home goalie must make spec save. Chris Mason is not well enough to do this one. He needs to roll exactly a 1 in order to make the spec save. He won't. The game is tied up at 1. Let's see who scored the goal. 10, second best shot rating. So the best out there is Guy Lafleur. The second best is going to go to Jacques Lemaire. So Jacques Lemaire will score the goal. 1 assist will be handed out on the play. How about it, Guy Lafleur? So Guy Lafleur will assist Jacques Lemaire on the breakaway tally to knock this game up at 1 apiece. And we will move on to the next portion of this segment. Quality check between players 4 and 1. That's Bogosian and Wilson. The quality we're looking for is star. Neither Wilson or Bogosian have star, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Oh, and it's 555, so this is going to be a fight plus momentum shot. This time we are going to have takers here as we are going to have, yes, we're going to go with the highest fight ratings here. So it'll be Riesborough and Chris Thorburn as both of them drop the gloves and the bell sounds and the refs are going to let them go at it. Here we go. Are you kidding me? The fans boo here at the stadium with, oh man, the referee breaks up the fight, so therefore it's a 0-0 tie. That means we're going to have a no action result for this fight, as it was a roughing matchup, and we will move on to the next segment. It ends in a tie, so what else am I going to say? Penalty check between anybody on the ice for the Jets, and it'll be against player number 1. That's Yvonne Lambert. The only way to do this is we're going to have to tie, or the Jets are going to go on the power play. We tie. And the Jets are going to go on the power play. So it looks like Lambert's going to go to the box as Kyle Wellwood will be the guy to take the power play shot. As he skates on into Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game right where it's at of 1-0. Excuse me, at a tie of each at 1 goal apiece. As we move on after 40 minutes of play in the books, we go by that score of 1-1 to the third period. Quality check to begin the third period between players 4 and 5. That is Oduya and Van Boxmeer. The quality we're looking for is skill. It looks like Johnny Oduya will net this win for the Jets as he moves in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. A 5 will do so, and that is it for this segment, and we will move on to the next one. Visitor scoring chance of a 55. It reads, home player in 5, that's Tobias Enstrom. He stops a Montreal goal opportunity with a quality roll of smart or a square. He does have smart, but let's see if he does have a square. He doesn't, although he does not have that square on him. He will have smart well enough to stop the Montreal goal effort to keep this game right where it's at of a tie game at 1 goal apiece. We got ourselves a quality check between players 3 and 2. That's Jim Slater and Jimmy Roberts. The quality we're looking for is star. Neither Slater or Roberts have star, and we are going to go to the next segment here. We got ourselves a visitor scoring chance of a 44. Any visitor player with a triangle creates a goal. Yes, we do. Mahavlich and Guy Lapointe. I think I'm going to give that to Mahavlich. So Mahavlich is going to move in on Chris Mason to hopefully net a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so, and we are going to go to sudden death overtime. So without how overtime works. If you are tuning into this project for the first time, we will play out a new game with the 4 segments of 5 minutes each, and the first team to score a goal wins. We'll keep playing until a team scores a goal. So kind of like what you see in IRL hockey for the Stanley Cup playoffs. With that being said, let's get right into it with the first overtime period. Visitor scoring chance of 56. It reads, any home player with a square any home player with a square stops a visitor goal. Oh man, the game is over. Stop the clock. The game is over. 2-1 is the score. We don't have a square out there for the Jets. And let's see who scored it. 4, third best shot rating. So the best out there is Lemaire. The second best is a tie between a three-way tie, excuse me. Gainey, Tremblay, and Lapointe. And the third best is going to immediately go to Pierre Bouchard. So Pierre Bouchard will score the game winner in the first overtime period. And 2 assists will be handed out on the play. How about it? Lapointe and Lemaire will assist Pierre Bouchard on the game winner here in the first overtime period. Hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I don't know what else to tell you. But with that in mind, the Habs will take a 3-1 time frame lead as they win Game 4 by a final score of 2-1. If you enjoy what you saw in Game 4, a like is very much appreciated. And a comment down below will be is optional but not mandatory. But please, if you do leave a comment or a question, please stay on topic. But please, no derogatory language. If you are tuning into this game on the full time frame playlist, do not go anywhere because Game 5 will be coming up very shortly after we take a look at the Biddy Beer game summary presented by your favorite Biddy Beer products. And if you are tuning into this game on the single game playlist, stay tuned in a few minutes for Game 5, stay tuned for a little while to my channel so that way you don't make sure you turn on that notifications bell and make sure you don't miss out on Game 5 to pop up very soon here on my channel. But if you're watching this in the near future, you're going to enjoy Game 5 right away. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning into Game 4. Once again, the final score here for Game 4. The Habs take a 3-1 time frame lead over the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets, winning Game 4 by a final score of 2-1 in the first overtime period. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for Game 5 of this time frame matchup between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. As you guys can see, the Habs are going to obviously win their 20th time frame of this project as they will probably win this one either by winning this game plus either they both win the next one to make it a 5-1, or it could end up being a 4-2. But who knows what's going to happen? But we need to play Game 5 first in order for that to happen. With that being said, with 16 minutes and 46 seconds left on the clock, your starting netminders for Game 5 are going to be Andrei Pavelek and Michel Larocque will oppose him in net for the Habs. With that being said, let's get right into it. Will the clock operator please start the clock? We're going to begin with a quality check to begin this game. It will be between players 1 and anybody on the ice for the Jets. Player number 1 is Bob Gainey. The quality we're looking for is skill. So pick your poison between Kane, Wheeler, and Little. Um, I think we'll have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Brian Little will win. Will be the lucky contestant here to face Gainey, as both Gainey and Little have skill, and that is going to be it for this first segment of Game 5, and we will move on to the next segment. We got ourselves a another quality check. This time it'll be between players 4 and anybody on the ice for the Jets. The quality we're looking for is hit. Kane or Bogosian or Bufflin will seal it. Excuse me. I do want to keep at least one triangle out there, but I do want to keep at least that power play circle star symbol out there, plus the circle for Bogosian out there. So Dustin Bufflin will take the cake. Will take the piece of cake for this one, as both Nyrop and Bufflin have hit, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check again. This time it'll be between anybody on the ice for the Habs, and it'll be against player 5 with Tobias Enstrom. The quality we're looking for is power. It looks like Enstrom's not going to win this one, so pick your poison between Tremblay, Riesborough, Lapointe, and Boxmeer. Well, Lapointe was just flipped, so we're going to keep him out of it. So we'll let the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, excuse me. Yes, or 5, 6. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, that's Mario Tremblay, who's going to win this battle with Enstrom as he moves in on Andrei Pavlich for a 2 or 3. Yes, 2 or 3 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game knotted up at 0 apiece through the first 15 minutes of this hockey game here in Montreal. Home scoring chance of a 33. We got home player in 1. That's Maury Wilson. He creates a goal for his team with a quality roll of star or a triangle. Maury Wilson does not have star, neither does he have a triangle, so that is going to be it. And after 20 minutes of play here in this hockey game, we have no score. Oh, and we got triple three, so this is going to be a critical face-off, and it looks like this time Doug Riesborough is going to win over over Tim Stapleton, I should say, as Doug Riesborough wins the critical face-off, and as he moves in on Andrei Pavlich for a 1 or a 2 on the spec save, and he saves it. Wow. The crowd is wowing at that one, saying, how did he make this? How did he make that save? Wow. And we will move on to the next segment. Quality check. It'll be between players 2 for the Jets and anybody on the ice for the Habs. Blake Wheeler will be the player in question. The quality we're looking for is skill. Power play circle star symbol is going to stay out there for Guy. The circle will be out there for Lapointe. So it's either Mahavlich or Lambert. Dot, it's Lambert. And it will be Mahavlich who is going to tie up this quality check attempt here in this hockey game between Wheeler and himself, as both guys have skill. And we will move on to the next segment. Quality check. This time it'll be between Lafleur and Bogosian. The quality we're looking for is speed. Both Lafleur and Bogosian have speed, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Another quality check. This time it'll be between anybody on the ice for the Habs against player number 3. That's Jim Slater for the Winnipeg Jets. The quality in questioning we're looking for is smart. Slater's not going to win this one, so pick your poison between anybody but Van Boxmeer. We do want to keep at least one square out there. So Lapointe could be a possibility. Roberts could be a possibility. Let's have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 is a reroll. So Guy Lapointe will win this quality check battle with Jim Slater, as he will move in on Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 1, 2, or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He can't, and the Habs will take an early 1-0 lead with here in the 20th minute of this second period. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Lemaire and I do want to keep that square out there just in case. We'll go with John. We'll go with John Van Boxmeer. So Lapointe will score the goal from Jacques Lemaire getting the primary assist, and John Van Boxmeer getting the secondary assist. And we will move on to the next portion here with a quality check between players 2 and anybody on the ice for the Jets with Star. It looks like the only 2 out there with Star that can win it is Little and Kane. Little just came up, so I think we're just going to go with Kane, as he will win that battle, quality check battle with Jimmy Roberts, and he will move in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to make the stop. He won't do so. The game is tied, courtesy of Evander Kane. And there will be 2 assists handed out on the goal. Bufflin and I do want to keep Little out there just in case. So we're going to go with Oduya. So Evander Kane will get the quality check win plus the goal from Dustin Bufflin and Johnny Oduya. And we stay put in this portion of the segment. 2 down, 4 to go until the segment automatically ends. Quality check between both players in 5. That's Bouchard and Enstrom. The quality we're looking for is power. Pierre Bouchard's going to win this one as he does have power. So he's going to be moving in on Andre Pavlich as he needs to make a 2 or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Habs will take a 2-1 lead courtesy of Pierre Bouchard. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. How about Riesborough and Tremblay? Oh, and Finstrom needs to flip as well. So 3 down, 3 more to go until this segment automatically ends. Visitor scoring chance of a 62. We got any home player with a circle prevents a power play goal. Unfortunately for the Habs, we do not have a circle out there. So it looks like the game is tied up once again for the Jets. And it will be considered a power play goal from the player with the best shot rating. That is going to be Brian Little. So Brian Little will score the goal, and 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Bufflin and Bogosian will assist Brian Little on the power play goal by the Jets to tie things up at 2 apiece. We've scored 4 goals in this segment, and that leaves only 2 goals remaining until this segment automatically ends. Home scoring chance of a 22. Visitor goalie must make spec save. Andre Pavlich did it once before in this period. Can he do it again? A 1 or a 2 will do so. He will do so, and that's going to end the second period. Nobody flips, and we will move on with a tie score at 2-all. We begin the third with a quality check between players 5 and 2. That's John Van Boxmeer and Chris Thorburn. The quality we're looking for is skill. Neither player has skill, and that will do it for that segment, and we'll move on to the next one. We got ourselves a quality check between players 3 and 5. That's Mahavlich and Enstrom. The quality we're looking for is hit. Neither Mahavlich or Enstrom has hit. So that will do it for that segment, and we will move on to the next one. Quality check again. This time it'll be between players 4 and 2. That's Nyrop and Wellwood. The quality we're looking for is hit. Nyrop has hit, so he's going to be moving in on Andre Pavlik to hopefully score a 1, 2, or a 3 with a dot to make the stop. A 2 will do so, and that keeps the game tied up heading into the game's final segment before we head off to either the empty net mini chart or to sudden death overtime. Home scoring chance of a 21. Visitor goalie must make shot save. So again, Andre Pavlich needs to net a 1 or a 2 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Habs take a 3-2 lead. Let's see who scored the goal. We got choice player. So we're gonna roll the die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a reroll. 4. That's Guy Lapointe. So Guy Lapointe will score the goal. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. How about Lafleur and Lemaire? So it'll be Lapointe from Lafleur and Jacques Lemaire. As we will move on to the next portion of this segment with a quality check between players 1 and 5. That's Lambert and Bufflin. The quality we're looking for is hit. Bufflin has hit, so he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to save it to go to the empty net mini chart. He won't. The game is tied up courtesy of Dustin Bufflin. And 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Blake Wheeler and Tim Stapleton will assist Dustin Bufflin on the game-tying goal. And folks, hang on to your hats. This is going to be coming. This is going to be turning out to be a Wild West shootout here between these two teams to see if we are going to go to overtime or to the empty net mini chart. We scored 2, only 4 more to go until this segment ends. Penalty check between players 4 and anybody on the ice for the Jets. It looks like we could tie or go, or the Habs can go on the power play. At this rate, since it's tied, I don't think it's going to be wise to let the Habs go on the power play. They could, but we'll see what the decider die says. Dot, we tie. And we will tie. So we'll go right across from him with Oduya. It's Guy Lapointe and Oduya both have the same penalty rating, and we are going to go to sudden death overtime as we are tied up at 3-3. So just like any normal, so we will play out a new game. So just like you've seen in regular Stanley Cup playoffs for the NHL, we'll play the same 5-minute, 4 5-minute segments, and the first team to score a goal wins. Simple as that. And we will begin with a penalty check between players 3 and 1. That is Riesborough and Glass. It looks like Riesborough is going to go to the box as Tanner Glass is going to move in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net the game winner, but he needs to make a 4 or 5 with a dot to stop it. A 5 and a blank won't do it. Stop the clock. Tanner Glass just scored the game winner in the first game of overtime. What you did to me, I do to you. Tanner Glass will score the game winner from 2 assists. Assisting on the play will be Enstrom and Bogosian. Tanner Glass scores the game winner for Winnipeg, and the folks here the patrons here in Montreal are shocked at what transpired. What you did to me, I now do to you. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to Game 5 of this Timeframe matchup between the Jets and the Habs. If you like what you saw during this game, a like is very much appreciated. Even though if you already liked the video, you can unlike and like the video again, even though it's going to still count for you. Even though it's still going to count towards just you having 1 like. But for those of you watching on the single game playlist, a like is very much appreciated on this video. Comment is also optional, but not mandatory. Or if you got any questions about the game or in the video about the video and how I'm doing, leave it down below and I'll make sure to answer it as soon as possible. With that being said, Thank you so much for tuning in to Game 5. If you are tuning into this game on the full time frame playlist, do not go anywhere because Game 6 will be coming up right after we take a look at the Biddy Bear game summary presented by your favorite Biddy Bear products. If you are tuning into this game on the single game playlist, stay tuned. As soon as this video ends, the game 6, I should say, will be up very, very shortly upon the conclusion of this video. So do not go anywhere. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to the action here for Game 5. Once again, your final score, Tanner Glass shocks Montreal to win their second game of this time frame to head to Game 6, down 3-2, with winning it over the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens by a final score in the first overtime period of 4-3. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, as we get set for Game 6 of this time frame matchup between the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. With 2 minutes and 49 seconds left on the clock, this will end up being the final game of this time frame matchup between these two teams. For now, if another Winnipeg team does land on the wheel, we will then play out some more with more of the Winnipeg Jets for next time frame, depending on if they land on the wheel. If another Winnipeg team does land on the wheel. With that being said, Michel Larocque will be in net for the Habs. Andre Pavlich will be in net for the Jets. And let's set the stakes. If the Jets win this game, this time frame will end up being another time frame tie, and it will be if my math is correct, the 4th time frame tie of this project. If the Habs win this game, then the Habs will win their 20th time frame, advancing their time frame record to 20 time frame wins, only 4 time frame losses, and 3 time frame ties. With that being said, let's jump into Game 6 and see what happens. With 2 minutes and 49 seconds left on the clock, whenever the clock hits 0, we will play out the rest of this game, and then that is going to be it for today. With that in mind, let's get right into Game 6. Will the clock operator please start the clock? And we're going to begin with a penalty check between players 1 and 4. That's Ladd and Nyrop. It looks like, Andrew Ladd's going to go to the box as Bill Nyrop is going to cruise on into Andre Pavlich, who needs to make a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the stop. He won't, and the Montreal Canadiens take a 1-0 lead on the power play, courtesy of Bill Nyrop. 2 assists will be handed out on the play. Reesborough will be 1. And I'm going to try here. Jimmy Roberts. I may be doing something stupid. But we will see what happens. So it'll be Nyrop from Reesborough and Roberts as the ice-breaking goal comes the way of Montreal, and it comes via the power play. We stay put in this segment with, a visitor scoring chance of a 34. Visitor player in 1, that is Yvonne Lambert. He creates a goal with a quality roll of star or a triangle. He does have star, but let's see if he does have that triangle. No, he doesn't. Even though he does not have the triangle, he does have star well enough to move in on Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game right where it's at of 1-0 to give Pavlik's team a chance to come in, to come to get themselves on the board here in this one. Penalty check between players 3 and 1. That's Slater and Gainey. It looks like both guys have the same penalty rating of 0.5, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Home scoring chance of a 12, and it reads: visitor goalie must make play save. So Michel Larocque needs to net a 5 or a 6 with a dot, I should say. And he will do so. Nobody flips, and we will move on to the next segment. Quality check between anybody on the ice for the Jets against player number 3. That is Pete Mahovlich. We're looking for the quality of skill. So pick your poison between Kane, Little, and Oduya. We are going to have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brian Little. So it's going to be right across both players in 3 for skill. And indeed, Little and Mahovlich do have skill. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. We start the second period with a quality check between both players in 5. The quality we're looking for is power. Both Bufflin and Bouchard have power, and we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check between both players in 3. That's Lemaire and Stapleton. The quality we're looking for is smart. It looks like Jacques Lemaire will win this one as he does have smart, so he will be cruising in on Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so as this game remains a Montreal lead of 1-0 to keep the Jets in this one as we will move on to the next segment. Quality check between players 1 and 5. That's Evander Kane and John Van Boxmeer. The quality we're looking for is skill. It looks like Kane is going to win this one as he does have skill. So he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep it right at 1-0 for his team. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check between player 1 for the Jets and anybody on the ice for the Habs. The quality we're looking for is smart. Tanner Glass is not going to win this one. So pick your poison between Bouchard, Wilson, and Lapointe. I do want to keep that power play circle star symbol out there, so it's between Bouchard and Wilson. Dot, it's Wilson. And it will be Bouchard. So Bouchard will skate on into Andre Pavlich to hopefully net a 3 or 4 with a dot to make the stop. And he will do so to keep this game right where it's at of 1-0 after 40 minutes of play here in game number 6. And again, we reset the we're going to reset this situation here for those of you just clicking on this video for the first time. The Jets win. This time frame ends in a tie at 3 games apiece. The Habs win. They will win the time frame 4 games to 2. We got ourselves a quality check between players. It'll be contested between players 3 and 1. That is Slater and Wilson. The quality we're looking for is hit. It looks like Jim Slater is going to win this one as he does have hits. So he's going to be moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 4 or 5 with a dot to make, a 5 or a 6 with a dot, I should say, because of the adjustments. And it will be saved by Michel Larocque. And we will move on to the next segment here in this one. Quality check between players 1 and 5. That's Ladd and Van Boxmeer. The quality we're looking for is smart. Andrew Ladd's going to win this one as he does have smart. So he's moving in on Michel Larocque to hopefully net a 5 or a 6 with a dot to make the stop. He does, and that is going to be it for that segment. And we will move on to the next one. Quality check again. This time it'll be between players 5 and 2. That's Enstrom and Tremblay. The quality we're looking for is star. Neither Tobias Enstrom or Mario Tremblay have smart, and we will move on to the next segment. We got a quality check. This time it'll be between players 3 and anybody on the ice for the Habs. Player number 3 is Brian Little. The quality and questioning we're looking for is skill. So it looks like it's down between Lambert, Lafleur, and Guy Lapointe. Let's have the red die decide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guy Lapointe. So both players have skill. And folks, we are going to go to the empty net mini chart. Whoop. Let me, I clicked the button twice. So in all fairness, we will re-roll again. 3, roll a die. So if lower or equal to triangles, leading team must make a play save. So in this case here, we are going to look at the leading team here. So in this case, it's Montreal. Because right now we have. Actually, we should be looking at the home team here because empty net. I don't know if I'm playing this right, but I'm going to say we need to roll a 4, a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in order for Larocque to make a play save. He will do so. So Larocque needs to make a play save. So either way, we roll within either 2 for the Jets or 4 for the Habs. If I'm playing this right, so it's going to be a play save for Michel Larocque. A chance to make a play save, I should say, to hopefully end this game with a 1-0 score. Otherwise, this game's going to go to overtime. A 6 with a blank will do it. The game is over. Stop the clock as Michel Larocque makes the play save. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Habs will take their 20th time frame victory of this project, winning this time frame over the Winnipeg Jets of 2011-2012 by a final time frame matchup score of 4-2 as they win it here in game number 6 via a shutout. They kept the Jets scoreless at home for the first time in this project here by a final score of 1-0. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to today's action between the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. If you like what you saw, a like is very much appreciated. A comment is also optional. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments section below. And if you would like to order yourself a copy of Hockey Blast Express, I left the link down below in the description box, as well as you can also roam around the Play website to see what kind of products they have if you just want to check things out, if you don't want to order yourself a copy of the game. With that being said, if you hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, day, or wherever you may be watching this. Stay tuned for the Biddy Beer game summary for Game 6 coming up next, as well as the time frame summary presented by your favorite Biddy Beer products. And also as I mentioned before, the final spin of the wheel for this project. And yes, we are going to be trimming this time frame project down to 28 time frame matchups. So next time that we meet will be the final time frame matchup of this project, as I would like to get other projects out on the tabletop. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. And once again, the final score for Game 6 and for this time frame matchup, the 76-77 Habs will take another time frame, their 20th time frame victory of this project, winning it over the Winnipeg Jets by a final of 1-0 here in Game 6, and in the time frame, winning it 4-2. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's time frame matchup between the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens and the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets. We look forward to bringing you future time frame matchups throughout the 2024-25 National Hockey League's regular season whenever games are being played. Well, it's that time once again where we figure out to see who will play the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens up next in this Gauntlet Challenge project. We have featured so many great teams in so many great time frame matchups throughout this 24-25 National Hockey League season. But unfortunately, with the season almost coming to a close, I'm afraid that this will be the final time frame matchup for this project. Even though I said 52, I'm going to have to cut it down to at least 28 time frame matchups. Even though we have already said, even though I said 52, but what I've decided to do was to shorten it to about 27 as um, an executive decision was made. So that way I can get other stuff on the tabletop to um, get situated and all that, as well as the start of the Hockey Blast Express Hour that is to be coming up shortly here on my channel. That will be debuting in October of this year, as well as other projects, including the History Maker Baseball Express Hour for the for History Maker Baseball Express, debuting in March, I would say around late March of 2026, and the second season um, um, Express Hour will debut sometime in the fall of either 27 or 2028. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's time frame matchup between the 2011-2012 Winnipeg Jets and the 76-77 Montreal Canadiens. So without further delay, let's find out who the final team will be to take on the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens. Please direct your attention to the Bitty Beer Team Selector Wheel presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. If you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a bitty price. It's Bitty Beer. For the final team, the wheel selected. Oh, the 1992-93 Winnipeg Jets. So the Jets will close out this 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge project. But between the 92-93 Jets and the 76-77 Habs, who is going to be the home team to start off the final time frame matchup of this project? With that being said, please direct your attention to the Doc Cola Team Selector Wheel presented by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the Play Games community and of the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge project. And it looks like the 76-77 Habs will close it out as the home team for this final time frame matchup. So once again, um, if you have been with us from day one of this project, thank you so much for tuning in to all of the time frame matchups. And once again, the 92-93 Winnipeg Jets as an executive decision, as I want to try to get more stuff on the tabletop, or excuse me, on my tabletop here at my headquarters for here at home base. And I am really, really thrilled with this project. Like, if I had to do it all over again, I would be um, taping so many more games. But as an executive decision, it was weighing heavily on me. So I told myself, trim it down just a little bit and we will move on with other projects. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens Gauntlet Challenge. This matchup between the 1992-93 Winnipeg Jets will be the final time frame matchup of the project. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's action, and we look forward to showcasing the project finale of this Gauntlet Challenge project between the 1992-93 Winnipeg Jets and the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens.